Did you know that the iconic Hermès Birkin bag was born from a spilled handbag incident involving an actress? That actress was Jane Birkin, a British singer and actress. In early 1984, Birkin boarded Air France Flight 126 from Paris to London. While placing her wicker basket on the overhead shelf, it tipped over, spilling papers and cosmetics everywhere. She complained to the man beside her, saying, "Why isn't there a proper leather bag big enough for all this?" That man turned out to be Jean-Louis Dumas, CEO of Hermès. Dumas immediately began sketching an idea on an in-flight paper bag. It was a rectangular tote with a flap and straps, a hybrid of elegance and practicality. Back in Paris, he instructed Hermès artisans to create a prototype. 3 months later, a sturdy leather bag was placed in front of Birkin. She smiled and said, "It holds everything, even baby stuff and documents." Dumas named the bag after her, the Birkin. At launch, it cost around $2,000, similar to a small car at the time. Only about 12,000 were made each year, making waitlists stretch over 3 years. In the 90s, supermodels and Hollywood stars carried it, making it iconic. Jane Birkin donated all royalties from the bag to UNICEF and refugee aid groups. When concerns rose about crocodile leather, she demanded ethical sourcing from Hermès. Hermès responded by introducing certified, traceable farming standards. In 2017, a Himalayan Birkin sold at auction for over $250,000. The news went viral. "This bag is worth more than gold." Researchers later found the bag's resale value had increased by 8% annually for decades. Yet it all began with a minor inconvenience on an airplane. A small spill became the seed of luxury storytelling. Dumas saw the gap, and Birkin lent her name, giving the story its soul. But now imagine this. What if that basket never spilled? This is where our thought experiment begins. What if that little accident never happened? How would the luxury market look today? Hermès might have continued focusing on the Kelly bag, leaving the tote bag segment wide open. Chanel's GST or Louis Vuitton's Neverfull might have dominated that space. Hermès boutiques could have been quieter, with fewer customers chasing rare bags. Without a waitlist frenzy, resale premiums might have stayed modest. Resale platforms could have grown slower, half the current 2024 volume. Collectors may have crowned Chanel 255 or Goyard St. Louis as their holy grails. Luxury brands would have leaned harder into TV ads and hype collaborations. Prices would have risen more slowly, maybe just 3% a year. No Birkin royalties would mean UNICEF missed out on hundreds of thousands in donations. Ethical leather discussions might have been delayed by 5 years. In rap lyrics and TV dramas, Birkins could have been replaced by Rolexes or Bentleys. Influencers might have hashtagged Fash Chanel Tote Challenge instead of Birkin Unboxing. Hermès stock may have underperformed competitors, losing investor confidence. Paris ateliers could have slowed artisan training due to shrinking demand. Rivals would have filled the gap with mass-produced bags, diluting craftsmanship. Chinese consumers may have flocked to flashier, fast-trending brands. Business schools would have opened case studies with Chanel cues, not Birkin economics. YouTubers might have vlogged with Neverfulls instead of Birkins in the background. Resale culture might have stayed niche, with energy moving to stocks or crypto. Consumers might have cared more about logos than brand stories. Marketing budgets would have replaced organic hype as the main driver of demand. If the basket hadn't tipped, the entire luxury ecosystem could have shifted. A small accident may have shaped or erased how we define status today. But that's not what happened. Her basket did spill, and the Birkin was born. The fusion of rarity, craftsmanship, and story became textbook luxury strategy. The waitlist created a new kind of prestige. People lined up for the privilege of waiting. The Birkin sparked a resale boom that spilled into sneakers and watches. Brands copied Hermès's playbook: limited supply, timed price hikes. Ethical sourcing became standard thanks to Birkin's public stance. Her donations translated into vaccines and textbooks for thousands of children. Fashion schools now teach the Birkin as value through inconvenience. One bag reshaped an industry, consumer mindset, and nonprofit funding alike. It proved every luxury item must have a legend behind it. The Birkin showed that story, not just function, drives value. In the social media age, that story spread as memes and hashtags. Brands now mine minor moments for narrative gold. Shoppers began buying stories and identity, not just leather and stitching. This model spread to tech gadgets, NFTs, and collectible drops. Disruption, it turns out, often starts with something accidental. And that accident can happen to anyone, at any time. What mattered was Dumas noticing and sketching, Birkin embracing and giving. Their brief conversation redrew the map of luxury. That single bag moved markets, inspired giving, and redefined status. Consumers now seek products that reflect who they are, not just what they own. Brands still chase the magic of the next Birkin. But stories can't be copied. They're born of timing and context. So we too must notice the little moments in our lives. A spilled drink might lead to tomorrow's design revolution. Jotting down a random thought could be your Birkin sketch. The world rewards those who observe what others overlook. The Birkin teaches us it's not luck, it's awareness that births innovation. If you're annoyed by something now, it might be a hidden signal. What if the basket hadn't spilled? What bag would we all be chasing today? What if Dumas had read a magazine instead of sketching? What if Birkin had kept the royalties? Would the image feel the same? History doesn't allow what-ifs, but imagination prepares us for the future. So the next time something goes wrong, remember this story. A small mishap can shift massive currents. Maybe your everyday annoyance is the start of something legendary. One day, your idea could become someone else's status symbol. Like the Birkin, it could inspire trends, donations, and desire. All of it, starting from something small and inconvenient. A tipped basket once flipped the luxury market upside down. And your next click on that subscribe button might flip your story too. At the very least, it'll change your algorithm.